Hey, I'm Pops, and here with another Throwback Tuesday film. That's right. Grosse Point Blank from 1997. Joan Cusack, Minnie Driver, Alan Arkin, Dan Aykroyd. We can keep going. His sister Joan Cusack, Jeremy Piven, Hank Azaria has a role. Listen, is it a guilty pleasure that I love this movie? Like, I don't. Okay, so I will say this about this film too, which is part of the it hits the emotional feels for me because of the musical score. I'll be perfectly honest. It's one of those things where it just seems like the music and stuff like that just really, really worked for me. And I'm willing to admit that that's probably a little exaggerated on why I enjoy watching this film repeatedly. It's a very solid film. I'm going to say 3 to 3.5 stars, but it's probably way higher on my mental list because of the music. And I think there's some cleverness that's kind of written in there with the whole. I've always had a thing for like the professional assassins thing, as well as those that can exist within our real world, like coming up with ways that they would actually function and live among us. I liked all of that. And like the fact that there was just little nuances that worked really well. But basically, the premise of the story is that Martin Blank, John Cusack's character, is a professional assassin. He gets an invitation to go to his 10-year high school reunion. He's in the middle of an assassination job when out of nowhere it goes sideways. Dan Aykroyd plays a competitor named Grocer, and there's a second job, and that also doesn't work out. He has to he's hired to make it look like an accident, and it doesn't look like an accident. So he decides to go to this reunion because there is a job there as well. His assistant is played by his sister Joan. He's got this addiction slash love thing with Minnie Driver's character, who he stood up on prom night. She's a DJ in the town, never listed, and that's kind of it. It's sort of just this dark comedy that centers around the people from his past meeting with him and getting to know him. And it's kind of fun because he does say things like, did this, and now I'm a professional killer. It's like, oh, okay. It's like awkward. So no one like even remotely takes it for being a serious thing. And then Dan Aykroyd's character is like just so over the top with the typical stuff. Again, Aykroyd's roles don't really always work, but it's not bad. Like I'm not going to pretend that it's bad or anything like that. It's a sweet little romantic comedy interlaced with like the dark humor that kind of works. The music does for me. It's what it works. Blister in the Sun, Violent Femmes. The fact that you have Faith No More and you have the Clash and you have all of that kind of stuff. Pixies and Echo the Bunnymen, Susie and the Banshees. I think the Pogues have a song. I mean, I don't even remember all this stuff. This is like my wheelhouse of what I was really, really into during that time. Um, Clash. Oh, how could I forgot to mention the Clash? Rudy Can't Fail. Oh my gosh, that's such a big song. Um, but even stuff that was a lot more, I guess, mainstream, like Bowie, right? The Under Pressure song and Live and Let Die with Guns N' Roses. Like this stuff was pretty mainstream, but they're just off enough. Um, there are little pieces of it that I just always am. I can say it this way. I don't necessarily laugh out loud at a lot of it, but I am amused the entire time. I'm amused. I'm enjoying my experience. It's under 2 hours, and I'm having a good time. Right? It made money because I went and saw it when it opened, and probably went and saw it a couple more times. I don't remember exactly how many times I saw this movie, but I definitely saw it a couple times. So, yeah, I don't know. Do you guys? I mean, am I really ahead of myself on? I don't know. So let's go over. Let's take a couple things. Maybe this will probably prompt my memory, right? So this is the opening sequence with the thing, and again, the way he tracks through the room. He's having the conversation with her about the reunion and all of that. Uh, yeah, some of this stuff was fun because
What am I going to say? Killed the president of Paraguay with a fork.
yeah. The trailer is really kind of odd because it seems like the way they edited it and stuff, it doesn't even really present the movie. It doesn't even present the scenes in the movie well. I thought it's just an odd trailer. But that's a great line, right? What am I supposed to say? I killed the president of Paraguay with a fork. You know what I mean? The shrink and the Alan Arkin stuff is something. I mean, I kind of laugh because I like Alan Arkin. You know, met the dude when he was on the set of Edward Scissorhands. Just seemed like a cool guy, but it's just like this weird thing. Like it messes him up. Like he has to deal with the fact that this guy's a hitman, doesn't know what to say or do. By the way, he has him in this like little kid's couch. I'm not even sure I understand what kind of therapist he actually is.
Old friends, have some punch.
See, this was cut out of the movie, so this didn't make the final cut.
Visit with what's her name?
Debbie.
Don't
Yeah. It's the Under Pressure song. I gotta get hit for that. And there she is. It's kind of tricky to know how to feel about Minnie Driver, right? Because she's sort of like this cute, but not necessarily beautiful. And she's British. So in this movie, somehow we hired this British girl. I don't understand why we did that, by the way. But she's fine. She's cute. She's not like this beautiful thing, but it's just like this. It's just nice. He plays like this, you know, black tie guy, always dressed in black type thing. I mean, she's still all about him though. Like it's kind of a weird thing. Their interaction in the little cafe was kind of fun. This is an attack sequence. Okay, so this was again, you go back to your hometown and his home where his mom lived, the mom's house is gone. It's like a convenience store now. So again, it's so ridiculous and over the top with how this place because he gets attacked in there and they end up blowing the place up. But I think there was something that hits a nerve as you get older because you go back and you see the town evolve. And like where I went to high school and stuff, this area, it was like a 2-lane road, like one lane in each direction. And there was even like an overpass and things like that. And in the school itself, we had, you know, I don't know, but you guys did this when we were in high school. You had like your senior gift, like they gave this senior gift, and it was like this light, this mascot light thing that was on the side of the building. The building had like an extension that comes out you could park under when it was raining. And our school put this lit mascot, this alligator thing up there, right? They took all that down. It's all gone, including the mascot thing. So there's so many things that change. It is sort of like this weird emotional place it puts you in. Like you get very I don't know how to explain it. It's like you're being forcibly disconnected from the things that matter to you when you were young in your experiences. Like there's the 2-lane road is gone. So like talking about, you know, driving this way or driving that way, or I got a ticket or I got into an accident or I got whatever these stories are. Because these are the kind of stories that you build over time, especially with you and your friends. It's like, well, they're all different now because the road's different. The stories are different. Everything is so different. And I don't mean like a little bit, like this, radically different. So that's why I think it resonates. Yeah, bomb in the microwave. Reunion scenes. Oh, this was really kind of like these odd moments that are in here with the reunion stuff. This is meeting the dad. Hey, remember me? And it was like, you know, yeah, it's fun. This was cut. Changed. Oh, it was modified. That's all. Yeah. The final battle sequence. The trailer actually gives a little too much away in some way because it's definitely cut in the order of the movie. But not horrible. Not horrible. So this is one of those that I'm willing to admit I have in sort of like my bank of movies that I like that I can willing to admit that I like them more than they probably should be liked. I don't know. I'm looking up to see like I don't even know if it has Rotten Tomato meter. Let's see what it says. Rotten Tomato meter comes in at 82. Holy cow. Whoa. You guys like this movie that much? Huh. I did not think that was coming. I would not have guessed that. So 82 and 87. Huh. Let's see what it says. Yeah, 82 and 87. No, there's no weird numbers there. And notice there's no, okay, here we go. Top critics. Oh, so the top critics don't like it as much. So it's like a 82 and a 77. There's no alternate for the 87. So, all right, well, that's a little higher than me. I'm willing to go 3.5. I don't know that I would go 4, but see, it's 4 for me personally because I enjoy watching it that much. But I would not have ranked it that high. I would have probably given this a 3.5 stars. Yeah, good stuff, fun stuff, and the music, the score, the soundtrack's great. I had a great time with the music. Takes you back to that time. So that's my take on it. I know it's a little bit of an oddball one to throw at you guys, but just me and Mrs. Pops watched it. We had a great time. Hey, sharing it with you. There you go.
My favorite quality about Pops is that he's incredibly honest. At least you always know where you stand with Pops. So I like that about him. He's not passive aggressive. He's not sneaky that way. He'll give it to you straight down both barrels.
Yeah. Right?